Hello everyone. Today I want to sit down with you and really talk through everything that has just surfaced regarding Columbina in this newest wave of information, because honestly, this drop has completely changed the entire conversation around her. A lot of players were already incredibly hyped since she is easily one of the most anticipated characters in the Nod Cry cycle, but now that we have seen this updated version of her abilities, the community is split between being more excited than ever or fully panicking. In this video, I want to walk you through exactly what this new kit description says, how it compares to the previous information we had, and how the community is reacting to it, because trust me, the reaction today has been absolutely chaotic, and there is a lot to unpack. Before we dive into the kit analysis, I want to mention that Loot Bar's Black Friday sale is live for everyone only from November 25th to December 1st, so you can grab your coupon now for up to 10% off before it's gone to get double points and use them to redeem rewards or future purchases. Looking for the best way to recharge in Genshin Impact? Loot Bar is the smarter choice. It works exactly like the in-game top-up, but it's way more affordable. New users get 10% off with the link in the pinned comment, and lucky users can receive an additional 5% discount coupon. Loot Bar also has special deals on crystal packs, including the 6480 bundle, and even an all-in-one package with everything you need. See this? The regular $100 pack only costs $80 on Loot Bar. The process is simple and secure. You don't need your password or login. Just enter your UID, pick your server, choose your pack, and your crystals are delivered in seconds. Players around the world trust Loot Bar because it's fast, safe, and affordable. So don't waste your money. Click the link in the description or pinned comment and start saving on your top-ups today. Loot Bar, safe, fast, and way more affordable. Now for a quick reminder about the giveaways. Both of the 6480 Genesis Crystals giveaways are still active and will stay open until November 30th. I'll be announcing the winners on December 1st. As always, these are part of the monthly giveaways we do here on the channel, so if you haven't joined yet, make sure you do. All you need to do is be subscribed, watch all the videos, and comment your UID and region. 2 winners will be picked soon, so don't miss your chance. Now, I have to give a quick disclaimer that all of this is still early information, meaning none of it is final or officially confirmed, and some parts may change later. So what we are doing here is discussing patterns and reacting to how this information fits into the bigger picture of how Hoyoverse usually designs characters. We should treat everything here as conversation, speculation, and analysis rather than final truth. So with that said, let's get into the details. The newest details about Columbina immediately caught players' attention because they describe a kit that is significantly more direct and aggressive than the early descriptions we had suggested. Her base kit now states that she gives a flat bonus to lunar reactions at 0 constellations, along with a bonus to attack and a form of interruption resistance for every element except Pyro. That part alone is already more stacked than what players expected because it paints her as a character who pushes lunar reaction damage directly, while also giving the team a kind of comfort buff through interruption resistance, which a lot of people appreciate, especially for fast-paced reaction teams. The part that really changed the landscape, however, is her elemental skill description, because instead of the vague wording we saw before, the new description says she applies Hydro in a small radius around herself and creates something referred to as XX. The important part is what happens after the team triggers a lunar reaction, because once that happens, XX deals lunar reaction damage to nearby enemies, which scales on Columbina's max HP. This gets even more interesting because the type of lunar reaction damage she deals is determined by whichever lunar reaction the enemy previously took the highest damage from, which is where a lot of people paused and said, wait, what? This implies that Columbina isn't just a passive buffer anymore, but rather she is actively creating extra reaction-based hits in a way that adapts to the enemy's previous weaknesses. Moving on to her elemental burst description, this has also changed significantly. Instead of giving us exact numbers like the old information which said it lasted 20 seconds with a 15-second cooldown, the new details simply say she unfolds a field that boosts the entire party's lunar reaction damage bonus. The interesting part is how vague it is, as people immediately noticed there is no duration mentioned, no cooldown mentioned, and not even a hint of how strong the bonus actually is, with there even being a question mark in the text where the percentage should be. That alone made a lot of players wonder if this update is missing some details or if the balancing hasn't been finalized yet. And honestly, that wouldn't be surprising since we have seen this happen in multiple betas where early versions of kits had blank numbers or placeholders. When we compare all of this to the earlier information, the differences become even more interesting because the old descriptions suggested Columbina would mostly be an off-field lunar buffer with strong synergy for reaction-based teams. There was the idea that her burst would last 20 seconds, which made people think she would be a long-duration buffer like Nahida or Albedo, and there was also the idea that she scaled on a mix of energy recharge, elemental mastery, crit, and HP, creating a kind of hybrid build. The new details shift the emphasis heavily toward max HP and reaction follow-ups instead of broader stat scaling versatility. Another surprise is that the old information suggested her kit might not have unique mechanics, with some sources even claiming she didn't have any special passive resource and that her playstyle would be straightforward and simple. That part is now completely contradicted by the new version where her skill interacts dynamically with triggered reactions and her burst buffs reaction damage inside a field, which is not simple or basic at all. If anything, it is more like a Nahida or Raiden-style design, where her buffs depend on constant reaction triggers, and her off-field presence creates consistent extra damage. The new details clearly show a character with layered interactions and evolving effects, which is the opposite of the early reports saying her kit was uninspired. Consequently, the community reaction to today's update was honestly a mess in both directions. A lot of players are hyped because she applies Hydro herself, scales with max HP, and reacts to lunar triggers, which makes her feel active instead of just a passive buffer, leading people to call her things like Hydro Nahida or Lunar Kokomi, and saying this is exactly the kind of kit they hoped she would have. But the other half of the community went straight into panic mode the moment they noticed she might not trigger lunar reactions by herself. Anyone who skipped Nilou or Farina started saying they were cooked and worried she could end up locked behind Nod Cry characters. There are still plenty of people telling everyone to relax, though, reminding the community that we don't have her passives, we don't have her constellations, and we don't know the real numbers yet. So just like Farina, things might make more sense once we see the whole kit together. But for now, reactions are split right down the middle. At the end of the day, this new version of Columbina's kit is undeniably more complex and more specialized than what we expected, and whether that is good or bad depends entirely on how you approach team building. If you enjoy high-velocity reaction teams and off-field hydro application, there are a lot of reasons to be excited. But if you were hoping for a universal plug-and-play Archon with broad utility, then this updated version might be disappointing. What I can say for sure is that we still need to see the full kit to understand her true role, so let me know what you think. Are you excited about her new reaction following mechanic? Do you think her being shaped around lunar reactions makes sense, or does it make her too restrictive? And how do you feel about her applying hydro in a small radius? I am honestly curious how people feel after today's update because the reaction online has been all over the place. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.